We had a lot of time to plan and more time to save.
Right.
And we decided to take a much longer trip last summer.
We loved South Dakota so much and so kind of unexpectedly that we were like, well, let's find out what's, we had thrown again the idea of let's just finish the list. Let's hit Roswell or Oregon. The Redwood Forest in California.
Oh, yeah. Okay. We're very two different types of people on vacation. Yeah. TJ and I are the same. He's different. So anytime before when we've gone, like we have been to Hawaii twice. We like any trip that we go on. TJ and I are like, this is a leisure. We are in a time of leisure. We want to have a vacation of relaxing. So like and when we went, so when we go to Hawaii, TJ and I are like, we will spend all day at the beach. The next day is a pool day. The next day is a beach day. Like that is a vacation to me and TJ.
Yeah.
That is not so for him. I don't know why.
I get so bored and antsy.
He's like, we need to do 8 million things.
These are my to-do lists in 5 days.
South Dakota was kind of like a mix of those two. Like we could do the fun things, but we could plan like one thing a day.
Yeah, we came to an agreement that we would do mornings and afternoons as something, and evenings had to be spent at the cabin.
So we got
at the pool.
There was no pool in South Dakota the first time.
Oh, yeah.
We got an Airbnb, super cute. Anyway. This is not about South Dakota.
No.
We're just saying. So then this trip we did was kind of a him vacation. Okay. Yeah. So doing everything, going to so many places.
Well, it just got a little out of control at some point.
Well, then we decided why the heck not?
Yeah, we were I took everything that I learned from doing that trip and we said, well, let's go back to South Dakota. And just hit the rest of it. Well, then there was a thought that, we've got more time. We've got enough time to plan. Let's go to 2 places.
I don't know. It's just, I actually do know. It's because Home Improvement was one of my favorite shows. And in Home Improvement, they live in Michigan. They live outside of Detroit, right?
Yep.
So I've always been like fascinated with that part, like the lakes and everything. Like I'm like, why not? Like, what would it be if we went to like Michigan?
The big thing with this trip, like Lindsay said, it's like Lindsay's ideal vacation is the cabin in the woods. We would have never left. The beach. We would have never left. See, she's happy right
beach.
now.
Picturing a beach vacation.
My
on
idea
your BTS
is
blanket.
I want to go to a big city, and I want to what's it called when you hike in the city?
Urban, whatever.
I want to urban hike,
which is fine. Like one of my favorite places in the entire world is the Met in New York. So I get it. Like that's fun too.
Yeah.
But we needed both.
Right. So we came to the. Well, Michigan's got the lakes for we could find a nice little beach, but it's also got Detroit.
But it's also the time of year. It wasn't great for that. But anyway.
So anyway, we sabotaged our vacation by getting rid of my pools, her ocean, and made it all about you.
Anyway, long story short, we decided, and then he said, since we're going to be out there, I want to take you guys to Chicago. So we were like, okay. And so we were looking up things to do because we were like, what part of Michigan are we going to go to? So then we were like, well, Detroit is very popular. Like, why? So we looked up some stuff in Detroit. And the other popular place that people said kind of off the beaten track was Lansing.
Right.
And so we're like, okay. And then we were like, well, on the way there.
It really became... Because we're going anyway.
Right.
If we're driving all the way to Michigan to do Detroit, we might as well.
So then we were like, what's another fun place out there? And we kept seeing a lot of stuff come up about Minneapolis. Uh-huh. And we were like, never been to Minnesota. Why not?
Right.
Why not?
Right.
And then we had been watching. We had started watching.
Oh, wait, you can't even see it. Hold on.
See what?
We
had started watching Little House on the Prairie religiously. TJ wasn't a fan, but we are.
It was so boring.
We remain huge fans.
Right.
And we were like, guess what is on the way? Like the original, like Walnut Grove and DeSmet or whatever it's called. And like all these cool places. And we were like,
Plum Creek.
Okay, we're going to stop there. And it kind of just morphed into this huge trip. And we were like, because we had a lot more time to plan it and save, we were able to put away enough money to take a 20-day trip across the country and back, which was fun.
Not only that, like this will have to be a whole other video on like how we planned to use the same hotel to get the points to make sure that some of our nights would book us a trip for the next summer. Do you know what I mean? Which it did.
Which it had. Right.
Should we start there?
Don't stay. Okay, there are 2 Super 8s.
June 1st, we drive from our house to Custer, Wyoming. No.
We went to Hill City.
First we went to Casper, Wyoming.
Oh, that's right. Then Hill City.
Yes.
So Casper Wyoming is, if you've never been, it's just a town in Wyoming. But there are 2 Super 8s in Casper. Did not know that until we got there. One is great. TJ. One is Super 8 is like a cheaper hotel. And typically, like, they're not, like, the cleanest, but it's fine for, like, a quick night.
Especially because this was going to be, like, drive in.
Yeah.
Fall asleep, drive out.
And it was cheap, and so, anyway, we got there, and I fully realized the mistake. It was the most disgusting, horrendous hotel I have ever had to be in. And we got, like, everything was disgusting. There was trash all over the stairs. The parking lot was janky. Like, I don't even know how many people have been murdered in that parking lot. Like, drug deals gone wrong and cop shootouts. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean,
you guys, it's the worst you can imagine. So when we got up to the room and I was like, I'm not kidding. I was like, I think we're going to get bed bugs. I was like looking at the bed and I was like, nobody walk on this floor in their bare feet.
Yeah.
Like, and like close your eyes when you get in the shower so we can just rinse off. It was so bad. Like I am not one to complain. I am like, you know what? I am very understanding, but on hotels.com, I left a scathing review.
It was like,
and I had to think about it for a while of what I wanted to say. And
it did take 2 more hotel rooms.
It was 2 more days. Anyway, so never stay at like a Best Western or something. Don't stay at a Super 8 in Casper. And if you do, please read the reviews, because then we got there and I read the reviews and I was like, why didn't I read these reviews sooner?
Yeah.
Because they were all like mine. They were all, this isn't a good place to stay, and they were right.
Yeah. Basically what I'm showing you guys here while we talk about our stories is this is what it looks like to drive to where we're going.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
Anyway.
Okay, so we got to Casper.
And then we left Ace, like we were up at like 5. I was like, we're getting out of here.
Yep.
Before we get killed and our body parts sold on the freaking black market, we're out of here.
Yep.
So we left early.
You think they would do surgery in that hotel room?
So we left early.
They have standards.
Looks like they have before. We left early. And that was, we went to fill up the car, and that was the gas station garbage can you puked in.
That's right.
Which you puked in some nasty ass places.
I really have.
Remember the porta potty in lava?
Yes! Oh!
Anyway.
What?
I can't believe that you were the one who brought that up.
Do you remember the place that we camped? It's been years, but when we go to
where
lava.
They had the cave-in the bathroom?
Yes, that campground.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
So they had porta potties at the top of the campground where we were staying.
Yeah, we're talking over Labor Day.
And Dad got
this is a full
sick.
Place.
Dad got really sick, and there was he couldn't make it to the bathroom, so he went into the porta potty and threw up in the porta potty. I'm gonna throw up just talking. Anyway, it was over a holiday weekend, so as you can imagine, it had been well used. So gross.
It's literally the nightmare of my life at this point.
Anyway,
so this is still on the drive. Do you guys remember Independence Rock?
Yeah,
kind of.
Can you see it?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. Okay, so we stopped at Independence Rock and realized that we were on the Oregon Trail.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, that was probably the first time that we stopped and we were like, holy crap, we're like experiencing history on this drive. Because the rest of the time it had been like cow, another cow.
Which was really
field,
one of the things that we wanted. So when I was TJ's age, I would go on road trips every summer with my grandparents. And that's how I came to like road trips. I just liked them. And anyway, and we would do things like that. Like my grandma, we would always go to national parks like Bryce or Zion or the Grand Canyon. And so that's where I learned to love national parks and things like this.
Yeah.
So this was really cool. And it was really cool. I don't know. Was this after the Super 8? Or was this I think this was on the way to it.
I think that this was on the way.
Because anyway, but
I'm
the
not
drive,
positive, but
here's the thing. Wyoming, nothing. You all know that. If you live in Utah, you've been to Wyoming.
You live in Wyoming.
You know there's nothing,
sorry.
but it's still a beautiful drive.
Talk
about
best friends.
Blue skies, wide open country. Like, there is something to be said for the scenic
It is. And
views of this part of the country.
And like some of the coolest weather we've ever experienced has been in the middle of nowhere, Wyoming.
Yeah.
Like, I swear, I don't know if it was this trip or last, but I really think that we saw a tornado.
It was last trip.
Like, and I know that
it was this trip.
It was this trip.
Yeah.
I mean, I know people are going to be like, well, the Midwest, that just happens, but we're from Utah. Like,
well, we were in Wyoming. It wasn't the Midwest.
Oh yeah. But I mean, people from the Midwest would be like, that's a Tuesday. But we've had 2 tornadoes in our lifetime, and one of them, we were out of the range. We were clear down at the other end of the state. And the other one was a city that was too far away to even really, like, whatever. This was like visual.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was really kind of cool. I mean, scary.
So then
scary at the time.
So then we went through to Hill City, which is the city in South Dakota that we'd stayed in before.
So let me
hold on. We stayed in the Best Western there, which we stay in Best Westerns. 1, they're clean.
Yeah.
2, they're affordable, and we get, as like Best Western Rewards members, we get points for every night stay that we use. So the points, yes, it takes a lot, right? That's the economy, but the points that we used that we earned from that trip have paid for 2 hotels on this trip.
The next trip
2 nights. 2 nights on the trip we're taking this summer.
Yeah.
So which, I mean, that's
we got, it's the trip that keeps on giving.
Yeah, because we were driving so much and we were going to be in multiple places, I was like, it's not even worth trying to find Airbnbs. It's just it's a hassle. Airbnbs are great, but I prefer hotel.
Okay, that's where there was one more thing I wanted to talk about. I was just trying to see when we were in Casper. There we are in Casper. Boom! That's the other one that I wanted to talk about.
Right.
So the other thing that kind of spiraled out of control on this trip.
Yeah, that was
in Casper. Was that we were like watching a lot of Hell's Kitchen at the time and whatever. And so we were suddenly foodies. And we were like, well, if we're going on this trip and we're going to, like, let's make this not about, like, going and each trip had its list of ideas of things to do. And most of them included things like baseball games, zoos, like whatever.
Yeah.
And we kind of narrowed it down to, let's make it about restaurants. And like, let's try all these new foods. Let's try the regional stuff. Let's whatever. And so a like subsection of our trip posts started becoming what we were eating that day. Food blogs.
Yeah.
And the other good thing, like Lindsay was saying about Best Western, is that most of them, at least that I can think of, have continental breakfast.
Well, the Normandy was a Best Western hotel,
and
but it did not.
So,
but it made for it for it in so many other ways.
Are we counting midnight cookies?
Right. So let's call it like 90% where we've stayed. That's one meal you don't pay for.
Best
and they're
Western,
not like...
They're not crappy. They always have like a waffle iron. And they're good Belgian waffles.
Yeah.
And they always have something to do with eggs. Like some mornings they'll have like an omelet. Sometimes it'll be scrambled eggs or a breakfast burrito.
Yeah.
They always have like bagels, different kinds of bread, like yogurt. There's always cereal. Like it's a good continental breakfast.
Well, and it's stuff that too, like Lindsay was saying, like yogurts and apples and bananas and whatever that you can put away for snacks later. Yeah.
Or take them back to your room. All the Best Westerns also have a microwave and a fridge in there. That's why. We are not sponsored by Best Western.
No, but
just love Best Western.
we just.
Can you imagine how nice that would be, though?
Oh my gosh.
We were
seriously.
That'd be so nice.
So nice.
But they're clean hotels.
We're available.
I have never had a good interaction with anyone who works at a Best Western. They're always friendly. They're always nice.
Yeah. What about the Best Western with the people that tried to kill us?
Was it Casper?
What are you talking about?
Was that a Best Western? That wasn't a Best
Casper was not a Best Western. It was Super 8.
No, that's the Mom was saying.
That's freaking Wyndham. That's why I've left Wyndham in the dust. Goodbye. I actually wrote Wyndham about this state. You guys, it was bad. I don't even know what to tell you about it.
She was very, I mean, it was
up and on.
So anyway.
Wow. So the first thing that we did is when we were like breaking up on our trip, what we could physically handle driving in a day, because one of my medical issues is that I cannot have prolonged positions without seizing up, and like it's a whole thing.
And also I'm the driver.
And Lindsay has to drive most of the trip.
Or I get car sick.
So she will vomit. And TJ also struggles with car sickness. So lots and lots of factors have to go into this is how many hours max we can be in the car. And this is how many days in a row we can do that.
Right.
And this is, after that we have to have this rest. Guys, it's a whole...
Especially for 20 days. It was a process.
It's a process.
Anyway.
So, which I also have in my millions of notebooks. So, when we were going to stay in Casper, because that was the limit for the day on the way to Hill City, we found out they had this little shop of burgers and had to happen. So,
first of all, I'm not a burger person, so I didn't care. They like burgers. I could never have a burger and be fine.
Yeah. We did get some photos of inside, like I was the weirdo that was like, oh my gosh, look at this, they have this. And
they had all the cool memorabilia.
They had so much cool stuff.
So it was all horror themed. All the food, like the items on the menu, were horror film themed.
Yeah, so like, I can't remember, I think I have a photo. That's going to become my catchphrase. I think I have a photo.
Well, if we have to make a sitcom.
Okay, so like you can see, they're like legitimately all themed to the hills have fries. And we had... What did we end up having? What was our burger? Do you remember which one you got?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got some burgers, we got some fries. The staff was friendly.
Peterman's.
It was run by the drama club. If I understand the signs I was reading, is that the high school drama club ran the restaurant, and that's
right. I got the BLT. It was not that good, and the fries were not good either.
Oh no,
the burgers weren't.
So unfortunately, like,
just unplug it and hand
it wasn't for us necessarily, but the experience and the restaurant itself and the...
Will you use mine enough? Wyoming rest stops are sanitary and clean and have vending machines and have refrigerated vending machines.
Like popsicles!
And like variety.
And you're not afraid to get them.
Landscaped. And they have playgrounds.
Yeah.
And their dog runs are not like, not like a patch of dirt that your dog can go take a crap on. It's like this.
Yeah.
They have picnic areas. Oh my gosh, they're so nice.
You guys, like...
And it's not just specific to Wyoming. Every state we went through.
They only get more impressive. Like
Utah, whoever's in charge of the rest stop, whatever, maintenance and finances, needs to go visit another freaking state because holy crap.
So this is Wyoming's rest stop. So just enjoy the tour of the rest stops, I guess. So,
you recorded this?
TJ, do you have any questions, my silly, silly child?
Yeah, why did you record this? That's weird.